as we can see here, apparently one of the parasites kids' birth certificates has been released. As you can see next to it is a birth certificate, although that is from America. The first thing you'll notice is that in the supposed parasites one, see on this one here, up there you've got that certificate number, and actually, just as it happens, I just happen to have a birth certificate here, without showing you the number or who's on it. You can see that's the sort of thing you should be getting. So why isn't it on this one? As we look down, surname at marriage if different from, so it's no different, usual address signed, and some signature of someone, which there is on this one as well. But do you notice how different they are? This one is not a real birth certificate, this one is. Fake birth certificate, the royal one, real birth certificate, the other one. Just goes to show, doesn't it? More than 500 village post office staff sued a publicly owned company, claiming their lives have been ruined by being accused of stealing missing money, which they claim was lost in an IT glitch. One of the claimants in the High Court case in Noel Thomas, 60, from Anglesey. He is in prison after pleading guilty to false accounting over missing £50,000. The landmark class action claims sub-postmasters have had their lives ruined. Many were jailed, ended up bankrupt, and had their good reputation shredded. What do you say? Don't be a post office man, woman, whatever, because you're part of the system, of course. Persimmon boss who faced furious backlash over 75 million pay award. Just let that sink in. He was awarded £75 million. Is forced to quit at request of company after row because of distraction, but he'll still keep his bonus of £75 million. Jeff Fairburn initially was due to a pay and bonus of £100 million from the company at the start of the row. Mr. Fairburn agreed to hand back a quarter of his bonus. However, the company continued to receive criticism over the size of the award. The company announced Mr. Fairburn will stand down as CEO on December 31st. The boss of one of Britain's biggest home builders, who tried to defend his £75 million bonus, will stand down at the end of the year to defuse the row. Right, that just shows you that they're making far too much money. They're ripping everyone off. Award one man a £100 million bonus on top of his wages. The corruption is absolutely rife throughout. Nearly half of over 65s who take statins give them up within a year due to side effects such as poor sleep and erectile dysfunction, study suggests. Side effects are putting off 45% of over 65s within 12 months. You shouldn't be taking statins anyway. They're not good for you. They are risk of diabetes, erectile dysfunction, sleep problems and muscle pain. The over 85s even less likely to keep taking their pills, study shows. Because it's pharmaceutical shit designed to alter one thing and give you so many effects. Because they're not side effects, they're the actual effects of the poisons. Exclusive. Barclays to cut up to 134 UK staff with jobs shed in London, Knutsford, Northampton and Glasgow, and it adds it to its team in India. The Big Four banking reorganisation is Technology Infrastructure Division. 2/3, 87 of cuts are in it at its Redbrook Hall location in Knutsford, Cheshire. The bank is bulking up its IT team in Pune, India, with 50 new roles being created. See, they're shifting all, just like in America, they're shifting all the work out of the country, so we've got no jobs. Then when you go on the dole, or whatever it's called these days, they sanction you and kick you off that so you starve to death. Part of the depopulation plan, and the government are involved, along with the banks, of course, who control the government. Daylight robbery. It's bad enough being burgled, but the petty excuses insurers use to wiggle out of are almost as sickening. November is typically the busiest month for burglary crimes, research shows. Victims of break-ins are being forced to wait for months to get a payout, if at all. Many insurers are using the small print in their policies to try to avoid paying up. One homeowner claims was denied because they left their keys in the hallway. Not under a stone outside or whatever like that, in the hallway, so they had to break in to get to the keys. So once they broke in, this just shows you the insurance business is an utter scam. It is the mafia, because pay up or else, just like the councils. Antibiotic resistance to kill 90,000 in Britain over the next 30 years. What a pile of utter shit. And shall I tell you why? We don't need antibiotics, any of them. Colloidal silver does all that every single one of them does, and more. It kills all viruses and bacteria. So you know this bird flu virus that they've been thinking, and the cow flu and all that sort of bollocks, all can be avoided with oregano oil. There's something for you. Or colloidal silver. So that is bullshit fear tactics by the shitty paper tabloids. Parents who won't let their son wear a skirt may have to be referred to social services, school advised. This is utterly disgusting, because the parent wants their boy, a normal heterosexual boy, to wear normal boy clothes and not wear a skirt. This is the problem with the education system. It's not an education system, it's an indoctrination system. Forcing boys to wear skirts is paedophilia. But then again, we're run by a paedophile government, paedophile councils, paedophile royals, paedophile police, paedophile judges. They're now trying to turn everyone into paedophiles. Utter disgrace. And if you don't allow them to wear a skirt and be a transgender, then we'll report it to social services and take your children away. We need to take the government down. We need to rise up and end this bullshit. Huddersfield rape gang jailed for 221 years for abusing 15 girls. It was much more than 15, but you know, that's all we're going to put in here. And now let's just have a look at the rapists. Well, they're just utter scum. Here's 4 of them. Them faces should be burned into your brain or sent to every jail, so when they find out which jail they're at, they can get kicked to shit, which is what they deserve. Maybe they'll even get castrated, which is what they deserve. Let's have a look at the next bunch. Here's another 4. Look at them. Dirty, scummy, paedophile bastards. And here's another 4. Look at them. They all look like paedophiles. They really do look like paedophiles. Here's another 4. Look at this dirty, filthy scum. They want to serve the jail time and then be deported. That would be justice. Or let the parents of the children decide their fate. That would be justice. Oh, and look, and here's 2 more dirty, filthy, paedophile scum. Oh, and 2 more of the dirty, filthy bastards that serve the maximum jail term that they're going to do, then be deported back to their own country. We've got enough paedophiles in Parliament, thank you very much. UK's population surges towards 73 million as influx of EU migrants doubles in a decade. Can we see where the problem is yet? Can we see where the paedophiles are coming from? Yes. Many of the migrants, or should I say the invasion force backed by George Soros and the Western governments, And if you vote to stop it, like Hungary and I think Czech Republic maybe have, then you'll get sanctioned, because the invasion must go ahead, because the Rothschilds have planned it. Backing of Soros has planned it. 500 million, $500 million to get them to destroy Europe, and you're allowing it to happen? I think the population's been dumbed down to such an extent that if they can't see this is an invasion, not a migration, then there's something wrong. Jeff Sessions out. Trump announces Attorney General resignation and his replacement. And this is probably because he was secretly a cabal member. Speaking of cabals, Guido Fawkes. Burko uses personal veto to block Vaz investigation. So Burko is another paedophile, because only a paedophile would protect another paedophile. John Burko has personally stepped in to stop a BBC investigation. Get it? Not that anything would come of a BBC investigation, of course, because they're all frigging run by paedophiles. Getting investigation about the behaviour of Keith Vaz. BBC Newsnight applied under the Freedom of Information Act to see papers relating to Vaz's trips abroad after clerks had raised concerns that he was not following parliamentary rules. In August, the same programme revealed how Vaz himself had bullied former Commons clerk Jenny McCullough after she questioned his foreign trip expenses. Burko argued that administration of committee trips should be covered under parliamentary privilege, because we don't want them finding out what a bunch of paedophiles we've got. Anyway, you can read the article if you want. Just do a search for that or look on Guido Fawkes and you'll find the full article about the paedo protection. Burko is of course one of them. Metro. Trump gets the hump. Now, this isn't giving you the full ins and outs about it, because as you can see there, his aide is going to try and take the microphone because he's had enough of the CNN lackey fake news organiser, and she gets knocked away. So that's assault. So he should be facing charges. But anyway, he went on to call him disrespectful, a piece of shit, I'm paraphrasing there basically, and fake news. And he's had his pass removed, so he won't be attending any more conferences, as all CNN staff should, because they're all a bunch of lying bastards. My funeral pact with knifed lad. Worried football coach made boy vow to stay alive. Now he's been murdered. Ministers get first sight of draft Brexit deal. 11 child migrants found in back of lorry. Oh, well, that'll be some more for the paedophiles to make disappear, abuse, rape, torture, then murder, won't it? You'll never see them again. Daily fail. In extraordinary TV admission on eve of his 70th birthday, Charles, I won't meddle when I'm king. What a crock of shit. He's meddled all the way up to now, and when he becomes the one that is seen as apparently the top of the UK, although he's just a puppet master to the Rothschilds, as you must have seen that, where Evelyn Rothschild's looking down at him and pointing at him in the chest. You do as you're frigging told. You're my puppet. The picture's out there. And oh, and look who's perking up to his Africa trip. Naomi Campbell, a model. Prince Charles, I must learn to keep opinions to myself. 70-year-old apprentice speaks frankly about becoming monarch. The only place he should be going is prison, because it's well known that all the royals are child raping, child molesting, paedophiles. Oh, and of course they go on the murder hunts as well, where they have high-powered rifles. The kids are stripped naked in other parts of Europe and sent to, and if they escape, they live, of course. High-powered sniper rifle. Yeah, run for your life. Bang. They don't get anywhere. This is the sort of shit these bastards get up to. Ministers called in for urgent Brexit briefing. Geoffrey Cox from court jester to PM's inner sanctum. Of course, a sanctum is something very evil, but there you go. Joe Brand's Guide to Life. The story of our favourite war poem. Singing helps people with Parkinson's. J.K. Rowling sues former assistant. Fight back against Trump begins. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. President shackled as Democrat win controls of House of Representatives. Changing face of America, record number of women elected to Congress, including first Muslim congresswoman. Turning tide against Trump White House. Presidential hails big victory for himself after holding Senate, but faces policy block. Jeff Sessions forced to resign as US Attorney General. This is the deep state trying to maybe slow him down if he is a goodie, maybe just make it look like he's a baddie, a goodie, if it's all part of their plan. And the voting on that is still out, because I don't think many know whether he's actually a goodie or a baddie. I suspect he's a baddie, but I guess time will tell. Speaking of time, the Times. An Idiot's Guide to Therapy. The Cult of AMR. Rachel Johnson joins the early morning regime. Scrap immoral freeze on benefits. Leading Tories tell May. Of course she doesn't pay any attention to anything that she's told, because that's not part of the puppet master's agenda, so nothing will happen there. Trump points to second term. US leader hails midterm success despite losing lower house. Pence is running mate again in bid for 8-year presidency. Scientists snubbed. The London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine has threatened to move meetings outside Britain after 17 people were refused visas to attend a conference. Just join the migrant train, they'd be straight in there, no problem. Veteran 98 beaten. This is in other papers, so I won't mention too much about that now. Rowling sues aide, I mentioned that earlier. Merkel's era is over. Oh yeah, you believe that, you're as dumb as the rest. Sack for 76 million bonus. I've covered that earlier. United's dramatic win. Blah blah. The scum. Help battered war hero 98. Utterly disgusting. And what you'll find out is it would be one of the migrants, the immigrants, the invasion force that's done it. But you know, just let them keep coming in, because it don't really matter, because that's the plan. Destroy the country. And you're letting it, and we're letting it because we haven't marched on Parliament, dragged them treasonous bastards out and meted out justice. Exclusive. Miracle Tots. Quad's gift. Grand 50. Eldest UK mum to give birth to 4 babies. Of course she'll have been on some thing to give them multiple births and all that sort of thing, which so it's absolutely terrible. And 50. Jesus, she could be dead by the time they're not even left school. Kataya's tan go fears. The Guardian. There is now a dam to block the White House agenda. Deep state agenda then. Trump issues threat of warlike response after Democrat gains. US midterms. Night of first sees 2 Muslim women elected to Congress. President lashes out after Republicans lose majority in the House of Representatives. Women win in record numbers. Democrats breathe a sigh of relief and look ahead to 2020. Full results and how the vote was fixed. Yeah, of course the vote was fixed. It's always fixed. There's never a vote that isn't fixed. Just like in this country. Always fixed. They propagandise you to death like they've been doing with the Brexit until the point of, I'm sick of this. Let's just leave. Let's just stay. I don't know what to do. That's the idea. So when they go for the second referendum, which means that referendums are totally pointless because we voted in one and said let's leave, so we have another one, oh, let's stay. So does that mean we're going to have another one to see if we change their mind again in a couple of years? No, of course not, because they've got what they wanted then. No Brexit, which is never planned anyway, as evidenced by the fact that the military are weaving into the European forces, and so guess what? No Brexit. That was, of course, The Guardian. Mirror. The real Charles, William, Harry and Camilla. Right, let's just face facts, right? He's a murdering paedophile. He had Diana bumped off, either him or his dad, whichever of the dirty paedophiles you want to take. They're probably all involved. They had sat round a table and says, right, let's have a bumped off. And yeah, and anyone against? No. There you go. That's all you need to know about Charlie the pedo. Denise Welch at 60 on Booze Boys and Bearing All. Remembrance Week horror. 8-year-old war hero Peter Goldston selflessly risked his life to serve our country in the darkest hour. Well, he was conned into going and fighting bankers' wars, is the other way to look at that. This week he was battered in his home by thugs who care for nothing but themselves. What have we become? We become exactly what the governments, doesn't matter which one, all governments are in the same boat, what the governments want. Chaos on the streets so they can bring in martial law and their new world order. This is in your face, but the papers try and gloss over it and make it look like it's not the migrants' fault, it's not the government's fault, it's not the royals' fault, it's not the court's fault, it's not the council's fault. Of course it is to all of them. Star. I'm a celeb, get out of here. Yeah. Night, night, Susanna. Yeah. Corrie Star, stalker hell. Pals urge Jack to call cops over vile hate campaign. So we've got celebrity, a newsreader, a Coronation Street actor. Is there nothing to be reported then apart from a news reporter, a so-called celeb, and a soap star? Well, it would seem not. Express. Back me on Brexit, May tells Merkel. But I thought she was gone, her time was over. Oh, so it's just a pack of lies we've been told again. Like, any time a politician's mouth is moving, you know they're talking bullshit. War hero 98 fights for life after raid for £20 TV. In an extraordinary interview to mark his 70th birthday, this was Prince Charles' retort when asked if he would meddle as king. I'm not that stupid. Of course he is. He's been doing it since he... Parasites. Telegraph. Why we should bring back national service. So they can get all the kids and start killing off the young again. Or, only the indigenous young, of course. Yeah, they're migrants. No, they don't do it. They won't be forced into it. It's all about killing and depopulating. That's all it's about. Shane Watson, what your bed habits say about your marriage? I won't be a meddling king. I'm not that stupid. Yes, you are, you lying bastard. Javid tells Met Chief to step up over violence, whilst at the same time cutting the money for the Met. Which, of course, we shouldn't have a Met anyway because they're just controlled. I mean, that Dix that's in charge, she's one of them. She's a paedophile. Friggin' hell. That's how they got away with it for so long, because the heads of all police force services, as it used to be, are all Freemasons, and therefore, by the fact that they're Freemasons, and they have to be Freemasons to get up to that sort of level, they're Satanists, because Freemasonry is Satany. Satanism. Luciferian, decide it whatever you like. That's what it is. And they will argue it isn't. It is. Trump forces Attorney General to resign. HMRC to review unfair family trusts. Ooh, so they're going after trusts now. Militant vegans are ripping the soul out of the countryside. What a crock of shit. Cockatoos cleverer than a child of 4. Well, that's because you get them to put in these like preschool learning centres where they just get indoctrinated from early age. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Digital footprint starts in the womb. What a pile of shit. Unhealthy living more dangerous for women. Financial Times. Trump urges bipartisan approach as Democrats take control of House. President sues for peace but talks war in opponents confront him. If opponents confront him. Opposition in Congress set to ramp up scrutiny of White House. Republicans tighten grip on Senate with help of rural voters. In other words, dead people. That's what they've done. They've got a load of... This is what they do every time. They get a load of dead voting. This is what surprised me that Hillary didn't win, because they fixed the votes big style. But I guess his lot fixed it even better. That's the only very logical conclusion. Persimmon forces out chief as 110 million bonus becomes key figure in pay row. But that is disgusting in itself, as I said earlier. BAE eyes new fighter jet opportunities on horizon. Dennis Healy. World events do not occur by accident. They are made to happen, whether it is to do with national issues or commerce, and most of them are staged and managed by those who hold the purse strings.